10 songs on this day, October 6th in 2000. So stay tuned for that. Also, get your calls in 286-6642 for your requests.
We got great country music coming your way. We got 4x4 by You by Lainey Wilson to start this music off. And we'll be back with your top 10. Thank you so much for tuning in on Audible's first 96.7 KVDL. You'll be hanging out with Warren Jackson and Mike Frazier live on 259 Morning Sow. Good morning.
Morning, TJ Ferguson.
This is Warren Jackson with KVDL. Good morning. Of course. Need to by Gavin Adcock. Yes. Thank you. You have a great day. What up, TJ?
What up, TJ? What's up, Cassie? How y'all doing this morning? Lainey Wilson, 4x4 by You. And today, we're doing the top 10 countdown for October 6th, back in 2000, 25 years ago. We're also going to be talking about the top costumes for kids and adults now that Halloween's, right around the corner. And parents, young parents, new parents, you got to get that now because it's not going to be here on the 20th, or it's like you got to get it early. Learn from my mistakes. The current trends and themes is K-pop Demon Hunters. The Halloween or the Netflix animated film is influencing a lot of adults and kid costumes. But Wicked and Alphaba and Glinda, the sequel's buzz is pushing witchy, magical looks. Pop culture icons, of course, characters from popular movies, TVs, and music like Disney and Marvel remain strong picks. Futuristic, cyber, AI, robot style, LED accents, metallic fabric, sci-fi accessories, all that good stuff. And nostalgia, retro and revivals, the 90s, Y2K, vintage movie, all that good stuff. We'll have more of that for you after the number 10 song of today, October 6th in 2000. The number 10 song, What About Now by Lone Star. A song asking about a commitment of some kind of clarity. What about now? The lyrics press for seizing the moment, making the next move in love. Lone Star's vocals and harmonies and melody make it a memorable track. Here's Lone Star with What About Now. I'm pretty sure we play all these.
Oh, goodness.
So they're doing pretty great. I did recover from announcing, you know.
Yeah, how was that?
It was awesome, dude.
Yeah,
It was bad because they lost. Like I was gonna try to get it like amped up. I had the Pitbull's little "I believe that we will," you know. I was gonna play that, blaring that at the end of the game, you know. But they just didn't happen. But I got a lot of good reviews. I started getting messages and Snapchats and stuff. Just, are you announcing? Yeah, up until then, I kept it amped up, like music in between play, trying to make it like college and like NFL style and stuff like that.
This is Orange Jackson with KEVEL. Good morning. I'm doing outstanding. How are you this Monday morning? Nice. Nice. Great. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. That's What About Now, Lone Star, for our top 10 music for October 6th, 2000. Next up, we have I Need You by Leanne Rhymes. Here's your McCurtain County weather forecast. Brought to you by Pine Cellular. Coverage when it matters most. Today, expect a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Then mostly sunny, highs near 85. And tonight, a slight chance of showers before 7 p.m. Then a slight chance of showers after 4 a.m. Partly cloudy, lows around 67. We got a special request today. It's Ray Simmons with It's Me Again, Margaret. Thank you so much for tuning in on August 1st, 96.7 KBO.
Yeah, it would have been better if they won, but what can you do, huh? I will say there were some questionable calls, but they really didn't play well in the second half anyway. You had an 8-point lead, and you got the ball at the start of the second half, and then you come out flat. Fall Fest was pretty good. I got me a snow cone, a corn dog, and that Lee's barbecue. I got some pulled pork nachos. It's pretty good.
Rob, I did that pumpkin pie eating contest.
Did you?
Nasty. Just do it with the bare hands.
I thought it'd be slices where you just pick up, and I didn't know you had to dig in there.
They were dead ass scooping it. The live music was pretty good though.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's also always good. Mom says she remembers when they beat us in the 70s also. Yeah. That's one of them games you got to win. Salisaw, Hodo, and now we got Ada in the district. So that's 3 games you got to win. And then every now and then Fort Gibson or Hilldale or somebody like that will have a decent team here and there. So We're literally in the toughest district.
It's me again, Margaret. That's Ray Stevens. Thank you so much for that song request.
Going back to Halloween costumes, how about the classic Halloween staples? Witches, monsters, and ghosts, often given a modern twist. Glitter, color, added props. It's good to see there's still people out there doing just the Chucky and the Michael Myers and Freddy Kruegers and stuff like that are not forgotten. What about group costumes that read well together? Duos, ensemble tend to be popular together. There's avocado and toast couples, stuff like that. And that's kind of fun. Still doing the disco and just, the disco guy with the hair and everything like that. But mostly, for kids, it's going to be the newest trend or the newest cartoon, whatever it is. I'm sure Bluey's in there somewhere. Back in my day, it was like Blue's Clues and Star Wars everywhere. I haven't seen anybody wear Star Wars, like kids-wise, in a long time. I don't know if they've come out with any movies here recently or not yet. But just have fun with it. Like I said, parents, get those costumes now. If you're going to order them online, get them now, because there's nothing like just having to go get the scraps at your local department store and just getting what they got left and stuff. So get those now. We're going to start with we're going to keep going this top 10 countdown from October 6th in 2000, 25 years ago, quarter of a century. The number 9 song, I Need You by Leanne Rimes. A heartfelt love song, the narrator expresses dependency and longing, emphasizing how much someone means to her. Leanne Rimes delivers an emotive performance with strong vocal presence. Okay, I do not remember this song. Oh. Oh yeah. I don't remember. I guess I didn't recognize the beginning of the song.
I was like a ninja. I just was like a ninja for like 8 years straight.
She says she remembers crying about it. Oh Lord, Ada. Goodness, once has got to wear a costume. He has always been in the cast for his birthday, the 16th, and then of course Halloween also. However, we go to OU Wednesday to get the splint off. Then I don't know yet what is to happen after he gets the splint off. He needs another 4 weeks for it to heal, I would think. There's have you seen like there was one dad, his kid was like wheelchair bound, and he made like a Superman flying costume or whatever and put it over, the wheelchair and everything, so it looked like he was flying. So you might think, something like that. Even, if he can't walk and stuff, if he can't put pressure and stuff on that just yet.
I got you, Mike.
Okay.
Are we getting recorded today?
No. Tomorrow, superintendent. That was Leanne Rimes, I Need You. And I remember that song. At first I didn't. The intro and stuff fooled me. But once I heard the chorus and stuff, it was like it was yesterday, but it was 25 years ago. Let's talk about key safety protocols for Halloween night. And we'll talk about this up until Halloween, just mention here and there. But adult supervision in groups. Young children should stay with an adult. I understand mom and dad may have to work or, something. They need to be with an adult, not older brother and sister. It's not 1970, not 1980, not even 2000. There's just more stuff. Honestly, to me, these kids just ain't built like we was back in the day. Like we knew to run. Like we didn't stay for, any danger. We knew to get the heck out of there. So, make sure they're with an adult, trusting an adult. Older kids should walk in pairs and groups. Also pre-planned routes. Where are you going to be at? And that's a lot easier nowadays with cell phones and stuff. So just keep in contact with your kids, see where they're at, see where they're walking. But usually everybody goes around the same routes. It just, everybody kind of goes together. But if your kid's older and they're still going to be going out and about, it's good to just keep in contact with them to see where they're at during all the festivities and stuff. We're going to continue this top 10 countdown. Don't forget, you can also get your request in at 286-6642. We got the number 8 song, Best of Intentions by Travis Tritt, a reflective and regretful song that deals with trying to do right by somebody and still falling short. His voice conveys a sense of vulnerability and remorse mixed with longing. Here's Travis Tritt with Best of Intentions. Yeah, and one year, my buddy, his son, they didn't want him walking all over the, everywhere to, trick or treat because he was still young, and so he turned him into Lieutenant Dan and just had him sitting in a, what do you call that? What do you call that? do you call that? Like a little just carriage or whatever. I can't even think of the word. But just something like that, Lieutenant Dan. Everybody knows who Lieutenant Dan is. Although Cade may not want to be Lieutenant Dan, he. Lieutenant Dan Ice Cream. You ever tried the All's Up burrito?
The beef and beef burrito?
Yeah, they're world famous burrito. Just to let you know, it's just a regular burrito. I went there. I was delivering Red Bull still. When they first opened it, I was like, I'm gonna go try these. Like, I'm almost done with my route. It's like 3:00. I ain't ate nothing all day. So I was like, man, I'm gonna get the world famous burrito. See what that's. I thought at least they'd have like their own seasoning or something where it's just like, yeah, that's All's Up's burrito. It ain't got to be nothing spectacular. But a Brahms burger, you can pick that out of a lineup between McDonald's and Burger King. They just got their own taste. So that's what I was expecting at least. But no, it's the same burrito from everywhere else. The reason why they call it the world famous burrito is because officially, I guess they were the first gas station to deep fry their burrito. Everybody else's was baked at the time. All right, Travis Tritt, Best of Intentions, good song. Let's talk about fables that we need to stop believing just because. Just you ever heard everything happens for a reason? Now, you can't, it's time to just summing it up to that. There are bad decisions that come with that. And, whatever the situation is, there is a reason why this happens. It's not just, it was, yes, whatever, whatever you believe, yes, there is a plan, but there are also options. I mean, if you dance in traffic, you can't just, once you get hit by a car, you can't just be like, well, it's just meant to be. Like, no, you give yourself a better chance of getting hit by traffic. But, just find meaning in what happens. Don't just assume everything's just meant to be if you're making these, in your decisions. Now, if a tree just happens to fall on you while you're walking down the street, the tree just rotted out. Hey, it was just your unlucky day. But like I said, if you're running around in traffic and stuff, your risk of being hit by a car goes up tremendously. Let's talk about more Halloween, just precautions. Stay visible, stay seen if you're out dancing in traffic. Use reflective tape on costumes, carry flashlights or glow sticks, choose lighter colors, and avoid masks that block peripheral vision. Turn on your flashlights when crossing the street. Also, drivers, watch out for those little ones because they come shooting out between those cars, trying to get to the next house or trying to get into their vehicle. And everybody does a pretty good job every year that I've went. Nobody really speeds through there. We're all like cautious. We don't want to be that person in the news that, something tragic happens on Halloween and stuff. So just, use precaution. If you're going to be out and about, be seen, be heard. Let your presence be known that, if you're going to be crossing the street, look both ways, of course. Let's continue this country music. Don't forget, get your request in. You can follow us on YouTube and Facebook. Also get in these conversations with us. We got Micah's Monday morning pick-me-up coming up in about 10 minutes. But first, the O&M Network. I forgot all about it. I'd seen the time. I was like, oh, crap. They woke up crying in the night, and the splint was poking his side. Infection so bad for him, and trying to help. They wanted to try all this burrito, world famous burrito. Yeah,
I didn't mind it. It wasn't like terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was just I built it up in my head that like world famous, like that's a name. That's you don't just give something ordinary that name. They could have branded it, the first deep fried burrito. That would have been a better branding, but world famous. And I guess it is world because everybody does it now. Everybody fries it. So, but I think the first deep fried burrito or the original deep fried burrito, that'd have been better. It wasn't bad. I still get them and stuff, but I had built it up in my head. I was hungry that day. Hadn't ate anything all day. I'm almost done with my route. I just want a couple burritos. And they're good. They're just regular burritos. Like, every Mexican restaurant around here, they have their own flavors. So that's at least what I was expecting. It ain't gotta be the greatest burrito ever, but just know that, hey, that's an all-ups burrito. I know that taste anywhere.
Being a gang leader landed me in prison, but back in the day, you and me probably did business together. Now, if you ever bought any kind of merchandise on the street, a fake purse, a bootleg DVD, a pair of sunglasses, there's a good chance you'll put money straight into my pocket. Because most times, it's gangs who legally supply the knockoffs to street vendors. Those counterfeit products come from gangs and their overseas connections and are bought by everyday people just like you. So if you keep buying fakes, these gangs are going to keep on making easy money. Money they use for other activities. In other words, they're getting a lot of bang for their buck.
The next time you think about buying counterfeit products, consider the source. To learn more, go to www.ncpc.org/get-read. Remember, counterfeits hurt, but you have the power to stop them. A message from the National Crime Prevention Council and the Bureau of Justice Assistance, U.S. Department of Justice.
An interim legislative study is exploring skyrocketing homeowners' insurance rates. The study started last Tuesday and wraps up today at the state capitol. Oklahoma's homeowners' insurance rates are among the highest in the nation. Representative Andy Fugate of Del City says it's not only a financial issue, but a quality of life crisis. A dispute over the Del City Police Department's budget lands the police chief on administrative leave because of budget cuts. The Fraternal Order of Police says were caused by the city's $1 million shortfall in the city's reserve funds. Floyd Barker reportedly had been ordered to eliminate the assistant police chief position and fire an officer who had worked with the department for 43 years. The department also lost a part-time animal control officer and a secretary. 70% of the police department budget was eliminated from training funds. Jury selection starts today in a trial over a 2019 Frontier City roller coaster accident in Oklahoma City. I'm Jackie O'Brien.
This is the O&M, the Oklahoma News.
Yes, sir. We're going to get back to this country music countdown, top 10, and on October 6th in 2000, number 7 song, Let's Make Love. Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, a romantic duet between two powerhouse country singers, exploring closeness and an emotional connection in a relationship with smooth vocals and star power, make it stand out. Here's Let's Make Love.
Vladimir Putin's birthday?
Do it.
It's Vladimir Putin's birthday. Bro turned 73.
Okay, this song I don't remember. National Do Something Nice Day. I thought that was like back in July. National Get Funky Day. National Go Day, GOE. National Apple Betty Day. National Rhode Island Day. Growth over Empower. Growth Overcome Empower Day. That's what Go Day is.
I'm sorry, I was Putin's birthday tomorrow. You got Elizabeth's shoe.
Oh, that was all yesterday. Today is National Child Health Day, National Co-Assignment Day, Plus Size Appreciation Day. Yeah. No. National Orange Wine Day, Coaches
Orange wine?
Day. Yeah. Coaches Day,
Nice.
National Noodle Day, German American Day, and Mad Hatter Day. Birthdays, George Westinghouse.
National Transfer Money to Your Daughter Day.
No, let's keep that under wraps.
Blue Shirt Day.
I keep thinking today's the 5th. 2010, Instagram was founded today. That's me, the size one. It's our day. That's Let's Make Love by Faith Hill and Tim McGraw. We'll be back after these commercial breaks with Micah's Monday Morning Pick Me Up. Stay tuned here on 96.7 KBEL.
Heard the old saying that there is strength in numbers, but for the Choctaw Nation, there's
Oh, it's so crazy, like,
strength in every-
having to like, I had the sheet with their names, you know, all this. And Sallisaw, now that I've done it,
From across
I realized, like, bro, all you need to know is the quarterback and the running back's name, and maybe that one receiver. You don't need to know everybody, but so next time, if I ever get to do it again or whatever, like, I'm just highlight, you know, what's quarterback's name in big letters, because they gave me a sheet with everybody's name was like this big, and then I didn't know there was a light in there, so as the sun started going down, I'm like getting my phone trying to look. I never went to the blood pressure medicine appointment. I was like, no. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff you can do to lower your blood pressure. Drinking plenty of water is one of those. Honestly, a lot of stuff they're going to tell you it's just stuff that you're just not doing. You know, the diet, you know, what your diet is. Are you drinking enough water? Are you active? Just basic things that as we get older, we just tend to not do or not worry about anymore. And that's all they're going to say. And they're going to treat you as if you're not going. They've had so many people over the years that they'd rather just take a pill. So they're so used to just here, take this. But if you're going to change your eating habits and stuff like that and drink more water, less, you know, like said, you quit drinking and stuff, then slowly, it's not going to happen overnight, but slowly it'll just start coming down. You know, go take a walk, just different stuff that over time people are just like, nah, I'd rather take a pill. That's right, folks. It's time here on Live on 259 with Orrin Jackson and Micah Frazier here on Idabelle's First 96.7 KBEL. How are you doing today, Orrin Jackson?
I'm doing fantastic, Micah. Thank you so much for asking me. How are you?
I'm doing great. How was your weekend?
It was good. A nice, chill weekend.
Very good. Saturday surprised me. I went to the Fall Fest and stuff, and I was expecting, you know, I wore a flannel overshirt, you know, everything. I was looking fly. I was looking good. But then it started getting hot.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, all right, I got to take this flannel off. Like, it was cool that morning. So I was like, all right, you know, I got up early that morning, got ready, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to set it off with this. But no, it got hot real quick. Once the sun poked out, the cool air went somewhere. It was not here no more. Today on Micah's Monday Morning Pick Me Up, we're going to talk about having a great week, even if your team lost. A lot of people's team lost over the weekend. You know, Texas lost over the weekend. I think OSU lost this weekend. Broken Bow lost over the weekend. So each team has at least one loss now. And, you know, it was a deflating loss, but, you know, everybody's kind of bounced back. Idabelle had a rough patch, but, hey, they're getting it together now. They're winning some games. Valiant still with one loss. Broken Bow with one loss. Everybody's in good position right now for playoffs. So it might have been a tough weekend. On the scoreboard, your team, they gave it all they had. But sometimes that W just slips away, and that's all right. Because a loss doesn't define a week. It doesn't define your week. Just don't, you know, you see that people, and honestly, I'll be honest, I used to be one of those people. If my team lost, I didn't want to do nothing. You know, it ruined my day. But as I get older, it's not that important. And I always seen like the older gentlemen and stuff, old preachers and stuff that, you know, they'd ask about the football game, did OU win yesterday? Nah, they lost. Maybe they'll get them next time. You know, it was nothing. But as a kid, I'm like, no, it's everything. You know, you take it to heart. And I know a lot of Sooner fans, you know, just Oklahoma people, you know, Dallas fans, everybody like that. But Dallas won yesterday. But, you know, they take it to heart. And they, you know, maybe they take it into the week. And that's what we're talking about. Don't take it into this week. Don't be sad. You see, just like in football, it's all about the next play. You shake off that loss, you reset, and get ready to move those chains again. Monday's the new first down, a fresh chance to make something happen, to get back in the game stronger than before. Maybe your team didn't win, but you still got to hang out with friends, eat some good food, and, you know, feel that game day stronger than ever before. This week, take the time with that same team spirit and put it into everything that you do at work, at home, with your family. Keep showing up. Keep giving it your all. And don't let one bad game spoil your season, because the best teams and the best people don't stay down after a loss. They regroup, they refocus, and rise up for the next one. So lift your head up, grab that coffee. Let's make this week a great one. No matter what the scoreboard said on Saturday or Sunday, let's go win this week, one play at a time. That was your Micah's Monday Morning Pick Me Up. Stay tuned for more great country music. The number 6 song is Go On, October 6th in 2000, Go On by George Strait. A gentle, comforting song encouraging someone to move forward after a heartbreak. Traditional country style gives it a warmth and empathy, letting the listener know healing is possible. Here's George Strait.
But yeah, back here saying about people like taking football too serious.
Yeah.
I can't take anybody serious that like takes football or like any sport serious like that. Like if they truly are mad that their team lost,
Yeah.
I like can't take that person serious.
I used to,
You gotta have like bigger problems in your life.
like, it wouldn't ruin my day, but I would be mad. Like, I'd just be mad that they lost because I talk so much trash. That's pretty much all it was. It's like, talk so much trash, like, damn, my team lost. But as you get, like, it's just like, bro, it don't even, I hardly watch games. This year, I've probably watched more college football. And if I hardly ever watch NFL, but I'll catch a game. Like, I kind of tuned into the Patriots and Bills last night. But I don't make it a point to sit at home and watch the game like a lot of people do. It's like if I catch the game, if I'm somewhere in the game zone, I'll
I'll never watch a game for free. Like I'll put money on it and watch it. But I'll never just sit and watch some gladiators.
Like the score is gonna be what the score is gonna be, unless it's a good matchup. But even then, I'll just tune in and I may watch that one game but usually I got something to do and I just tune in here and there, see what the score is, and then go on about my business. My dad used to take it way too serious, not anymore. Yeah, you just kind of, why? Like, why?
It's good for like conversations, but
yeah. And don't get me wrong, we're not talking about somebody's like, man, just they have fun with it, Texas, Oklahoma's this week. They're gonna be placing bets. I'm talking about the guy who crashes out, busts his TV up. That is like, why? Why are you that mad? Yeah, why do it to yourself? Now you got to buy a new TV.
And your team still lost.
Yeah, and your team still lost. Nothing changed. Like the crash out people, that's the ones. Like, it's okay that they didn't win, but to crash out like that and just be mad, leave the party just because they lost, in anger.
I'm going to wait a minute after you do your outro.
All right, that was George Strait with Go On, the number 6 song, October 6th in 2000, 25 years ago. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Warrior Minute with Cornelius Neal.
I Audubon Sports, right here on Audubon Sports, 96.7 KBEL. Recapping action from over the weekend. Let's start with some basketball first. Congratulations going out to the Audubon Middle School 6th grade boys basketball team on winning Silo Elementary basketball tournament.
Immaturity is all. Yeah, it's just
back on Thursday evening. Now,
having fun with it. That's one thing. Like like I said, this week's Texas OU game,
shout out to
somebody's gonna be wearing, they're gonna have to stand up. They're gonna make bets and stuff like that.
Grown ass men be like getting mad about the games.
Straight man, like
You got kids over here
yeah, like
playing about a football game.
Like the old lady and the kids are scared to speak because he's so mad. Like, why are you that mad? Like they're walking on eggshells because bro's got nothing else going on for him, I guess.
Right.
It's just okay, so what a turnoff. Yeah, it's just, and if you've never been around it, like I said, we're not talking about the guys that just like, dang, just they want OU to win or they want the Cowboys to win and stuff. That's one thing. But to like the crash outs, the bust the TV up, or they just, they're just mad, like angry at whatever because they lost. Yeah, nothing else going on. This was the highlight of their week. And it's like, bro, you got to find something to fill your time up. You got to find something. Yeah. Like you need some help. I mean, we all want our team to win, but it just don't happen all the time. And also the people that take it way too serious, like the kid when Florida State lost last week, that kid from Virginia, college kid, runs on the field. They run the field, and that kid's recording, and he's flipping the quarterback and one of the coaches off as he passes him. And it's like, bro, that's too much. Like, you don't even know the guy. You just go to a school that or happen to be playing his school. Like, you don't even know him on a personal level or anything like that to be doing all that.
Shout out to Cornelius Neal with the Warrior Minute.
Yes, sir. He does a great job.
Excellent
Love
job.
listening to his stuff. Let's talk about more safety protocols on Halloween this year. How about costume safety? Flame resistant, all that good stuff. Ensure costumes don't drag to avoid tripping. And the wigs, accessories, and props are flexible and safe. No sharp edges. You never know what can happen. Prefer flame resistant materials. Avoid open flames like candles near costumes. And over the years, they got the little lights that, battery operated lights that you can just put in your pumpkins and stuff like that. So there's no need for a real flame. I understand back in the 70s and 80s and 60s and 50s and 40s and 30s and 20s. I understand that, you used a real candle. But there's a reason why they come up with this, because there was a lot of houses burned down over the years. Maybe not in your area, maybe not in your time, but over time, there has been some fires. Also, let's get into the fables that we need to just stop believing just happens just because. What about hard work always leads to success? That is not true. But that's what you hear. You work hard, it'll happen for you. That's not always the case. There's other things you have to do in between that. Back in my day, it was go to school. Go to school. Okay, I go to school for what? I don't know. Just go to school. Went to school, and it's just the whole plethora. There's so many things with school, like they'll put you in classes that you don't even need. Just, that's their job. They're recruiters. They're school recruiters. So it's just stuff like that. It'll happen for you if you go to school. Does it? You work hard, you'll get that job, that promotion, that. That's not always the case. There's stuff you got to do. You're a hard worker, that we can say, but there's other things you got to do. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to talk to people if you want that position in HR, or you want the supervisor position. Well, can you talk to people? Can you have that one-on-one conversation? Can you lead? Can you talk to your crew? Can you, be stern with them when you need to? Can you congratulate them when they need it? This and that. Those are all different factors. So don't just go in thinking that, I'm a hard worker. Yes, everybody loves a hard worker. But a lot of the times, being a hard worker will keep you where you're at because they need you there. And it's the guy that's thinking outside the box and working smarter but not harder that gets those promotions. So just keep in mind, just don't think hard work is going to make it happen. There's also factors that go into that. We're going to continue our country music countdown from October 6th, 2000. The number 5 song, The Little Girl by John Michael Montgomery, a poignant ballad about an impact of domestic violence. The narrator addresses a little girl who is emotionally affected by witnessing abuse, not necessarily physically harmed, but traumatized. It's powerful and stirring. Here's The Little Girl. I remember this song. My papa got to where he wouldn't even watch the Cowboys anymore. Of course, he lost his son to drinking and driving after a Cowboys lost once. He sat over there drinking beer all day long. The more he drank, and then he lost his son after that game. He was 22, my dad's brother. That's pretty tragic. Yeah. Yeah, and especially after stuff like that, when you have real things, problems like that go on, football games just don't matter anymore, whether they win or lose. I call it the grand scheme of things. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter over a dang game. The more he lost, the more he drank. A lot of people do that. Them Cowboys have put a lot of people in misery over the years. Yeah, them dang Cowboys. They used to write some songs, boy. Let me tell you. The Little Girl by John Michael Montgomery. Pretty good song. I remember that song. They used to write some good songs back in the day, storytelling songs. We need to get back to that. You know, Tim McGraw's Don't Take the Girl, you know, stuff like that. We need to get back to that. That was great country music. And that was also the number 5 song on our list from October 6th in 2000. We got more Halloween safety tips for you. How about crossing the streets carefully? We talked about that earlier. Crossing the intersections and stuff. Make sure the car stops. And here's one of the things that we need to stop believing too. Just because. It's just because people are supposed to do things, like they're supposed to stop or they're supposed to yield at these signs, doesn't mean they always will. So teach your kids to not just use the crosswalk just because they're in the right. That doesn't mean the car is going to stop when they're coming through. Make sure the car stops. I mean, we've all seen people do that. Run stop signs, run yield signs, you know, not even slow down, just not even yield. They just slow down enough to where they can make that sharp turn and they're off again. So just because they're supposed to doesn't mean they're going to. And it's better to be cautious than be right and unalived. Because that's what usually what happens is you think, you know, you're right, and it's good to be right, but sometimes it's not. And that's a classic case right there. Just because they're, you know, when the green light, you know, when I'm at an intersection, it turns green on my end, I still look both ways, and I make sure that nobody is coming, because just because they're supposed to stop at the stop sign doesn't mean they're going to. And that may save me one day from, and matter of fact, Saturday, I was at the one in Broken Bow by Alzup's. And that one had my light turned green. So that means it had been yellow for a good minute, or, you know, at least 5 seconds, 10 seconds on the highway. My light just turned green and there comes a car just boom. So if I were to just had to pulled out into the road, would have got hit. And they would have been mad at me for, you know, whatever, but it's stuff like that. I look both ways to make sure they stop. So that's one thing. Make sure you teach your kids, just because you're right doesn't mean you need to be right in this particular situation. So, you know, crossing the street, make sure the car's stopped, make sure they see you. Just take these precautions, please. We don't want any accidents on Halloween. It's supposed to be a fun, festive night, not tragic. We're going to continue the country music countdown for October 6th in 2000 with the number 4 song, Country Comes to Town by Toby Keith. A swaggering track celebrating country music and the lifestyle taking over, the energy of the country crowd, the connection to live performances, that down-home feel. It's about bringing country music from the smaller places into the spotlight. Here's Toby Keith. I have been right back. I have to call a doctor about Wednesday. Okay. Good morning, 96.7 KBEL. Not much. What you got going on today? Oh, yeah. 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 Yep. Yep. They it's just, they're crazy out there. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. You too. Bye. That was Country Comes to Town by Toby Keith. We're going to continue this country music top 10 countdown at the number 3 song. But first, how about some more things we need to stop believing just because? You'll be happy when you achieve this. You know, when you finally get this, you'll be happy. And that's not always the case. You know, you focus on being happy now. You'll be happy when you get married, Orin Jackson. You'll be happy when you have. Be happy now. There's nothing stopping you from being happy now. It's all a mindset. So, and you know, don't let anybody else's expectations depict your happiness. You should be married by now, Orin Jackson. You ought to have, you know, $50,000 in the bank by the time you're 23 years old. You ought to, you know, this and that. Because here's the deal: they're always going to move the goalpost. They're always going to move the goal line. Once you get to the goal line, they're going to move 5 more yards. Once you get down there, it's going to get a little bit further out of your reach because nothing's ever going to be good enough if just being you isn't good enough yet. So think about that. We're going to continue this. We got the number 3 song, Kiss This by Aaron Tippin, a feisty breakup song. When told you'll regret leaving, the narrator says, kiss this, telling off a former lover who underestimates him, roaring with attitude and classic country bravado. Here's Aaron Tippin with Kiss This. Try to be happy now. That's great. That's right. Don't listen. Yes, just be happy now. I need a haircut pretty soon. And I don't mean on the rosy red lips. What's going on? Good fun. All right, that's Aaron Tippin with Kiss This, the number 3 song on our top 10 countdown from October 6th in 2000. We got your national days, notable birthdays, and memorable events coming up. We're going to continue these tracks with I Will, But by Shadazy, a song about hesitation in love. The narrator wants to commit, but is held back by uncertainty, wondering if she'll ever feel fully sure. Strong harmonies and the group's sibling vocal blend help this track rise high. This number 2 song, I Will, But by Shadazy.
Look. play the last one?
Yeah. All right, that was Shadazy. I Will, But, the number 2 song on our countdown, October 6th in 2000. Now, your number 1 song comes from Joe D. Messina in That's the Way. An uplifting song about life's ups and downs, the narrator acknowledges things fall apart sometimes, but you roll with the punches and learn from what's thrown your way. It's the number 1 hit on this Hot Country Songs chart and became one of her signature tracks. The number 1 song, October 6th, 25 years ago, That's the Way by Joe D. Messina.
What's the song that we play by her? Her voice sounds so familiar.
I know we played probably about 2 or 3 of her songs.
Yeah. Bye bye. And yeah, Heads
Carolina. And I'm All Right. All right, that's the number 1 song. That's The Way by Joe D. Messina, your number 1 song on October 6th in 2000. A way to elevate both. The holiday celebrates consignment as the smart, sustainable way to shop, earn money, and extend the life cycle of your items. It's National Plus Size Appreciation Day. On October 6th, it recognizes the gorgeous men and women who may be larger in size, but are also larger in life in so many ways. Extraordinary beauty comes in all sizes and packages. Yes, sir, it's our day, big people. It's our day. We got National Orange Wine Day. It's a bold sip of an ancient method of winemaking. The little-known style of wine shines with its bold flavor and auburn color. Join the celebration as it gains some appreciation with vineyards, wine cellars, and lovers. National Coaches Day. On October 6th, it honors the men and women who inspire us to work harder and do our best. It's National Noodle Day. Sound the alarms, break out the big pots. October 6th is the day we've all been waiting for, National Noodle Day. For 24 hours, we are dedicated to celebrating those glorious, wiggly, slippery, saucy strands of pure joy. So what's your noodle of choice? If you somehow missed National Linguine Day last month, consider your official carb-loaded redemption, no noodle left behind. It's National German American Day. In the United States, they celebrate the German heritage millions of Americans claim in our country. And last but not least, National Mad Hatter Day. It's set aside each year to bring out your silly side while celebrating National Mad Hatter Day. Your notable events for October 6th, George Westinghouse, 1846, founder of the Westinghouse Air Brake Company. Helen Willis Moody, 1905, female tennis player who won 19 Grand Slam titles during her career. Alice Bauer, 1927, golfer and founder of LPGA, the Ladies Professional Golf Association. Marshall Rosenberg, 1934, psychologist who developed nonviolent communications, the process for supporting partnership and resolving conflict. John Warnock, 1940, computer scientist and co-founder of Adobe Systems. We thank you, sir. Paul Popham, 1941, co-founder of the Gay Men's Health Crisis. Lonnie Johnson, 1949, inventor of the Super Soaker water gun. And we thank you, Mr. Lonnie Johnson. Thomas McClary, 1949, founder and lead guitarist of the R&B group The Commodores. Elizabeth Shue, 1963, actress with roles in The Karate Kid, Back to the Future, Part 2 and Part 3, and Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I hope so. Listen, I never got a chance to thank you.
That was nothing. I'm just sorry about your radio.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you're right. I mean, I guess you should have just given it to him.
Why? It wasn't his, right?
Yeah, it wasn't him.
Yeah, we think I like already.
You know what else you like?
That was Elizabeth Shue on the Karate Kid. And last but not least, Jim Sharp, 1965, professional bull rider and founder of the PBR. Your historical memorable events for October 6th, 1683, German Mennonite immigrant families found Germantown, Pennsylvania. 1783, Benjamin Hanks patents the self-winding clock. 1863, Dr. Charles H. Shepard opens the first public bath in Brooklyn, New York. 1876, the American Library Association is organized in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 1884, the Naval War College of the United States is founded in Rhode Island. 1893, Nabisco Foods invents cream of wheat hot cereal, and we thank you.
You get in just one serving of fortified or enriched cream of wheat cereal. So who needs iron? Little girls for rich red blood. Big girls almost twice as much as men. Growing boys to help keep their bodies strong. Cream of wheat gives you.
If you remember that commercial, I guarantee you, your back hurts when you wake up in the morning. 1927, the first prominent talkie movie, The Jazz Singer, opens. 1940, zoological or Zoological Gardens opens in San Francisco, California. 1949, President Truman signs the Mutual Defense Assistance Act for NATO. 1961, President Kennedy advises Americans to build fallout shelters in the event of a nuclear war. 1979, Pope John Paul II becomes the first pontiff to visit the White House. In 2010, Instagram is founded. And in 2023, Simone Biles wins all-around gold at the World Championships in Antwerp, Belgium. 34 world and Olympic medals altogether. That has been your National Days, notable birthdays, and memorable events. Stay tuned for Trading Lines here on 96.7 KBEL. Till then, we got Oklahoma Breakdown by Stone the Roof. Horns up. You said it was all right. And you down by the riverbed tonight. All right, Facebook, YouTube, we out. Hey, we'll stay live for a little bit. We're on TikTok now. We're on TikTok now. Go to our TikTok page. You know, it's got our little logo on there. If you want to stay on, we'll stay on for a little bit longer. But I got to start editing these videos and stuff. So follow us on TikTok. And then, you know, we can stay here and talk, whatever. But if you're on Facebook or YouTube, we're going to end this live stream. We'll see you later. See you tomorrow, 7 a.m.